Ringing in the new year in Conway as Coastal Carolina hosts Marshall for the second week of Sun Belt play. Both teams in different positions after week one. Marshall winning both at home. Shauna Clears trying to get two back after dropping two in the opening weekend 1 week ago. As we welcome you inside the HTC Center, Kyle Rush along with Julia Kennedy. And Julia, this game has take care of the basketball written all over it for both teams.
And this is going to be important for both teams, just as you said, but Coastal, they struggle with turnovers. That's going to be really consistent for them, but they also force a lot of turnovers, and we've seen that a lot so far this season. It's
been a lot of that Coastal chaos as we bring you to the series history. These two teams have played against each other a lot, 5 times the last 2 years, including the Sun Belt Tournament a couple seasons ago. Marshall leads that all-time series, but Coastal had their way a season ago against the Herd.
Yeah, Coastal winning those last 2 matchups, including that last one in Conway, back on January 29th of 2025.
Leads us to our things that matter. You mentioned Coastal Carolina's turnovers. Marshall's ball pressure going to be key to that. But for Marshall, they got to find shooters. Coastal Carolina has plenty of three-point weapons at their disposal.
Yeah, Marshall's going to be really important for them to have quality closeouts and kind of force Coastal to drive or find the open shooter to pass beyond the arc. As far as Marshall finding their own shooters, Tamaya Lewis-Otsi, she's really great at finding that open shooter, and that's going to be critical against that defense for her to find the pick and roll or the pick and pops to get the shooters open. Coastal valuing those possessions, obviously good for them, and figuring out how to get those paint touches so that they can open shots along the perimeter.
Well, Coastal certainly will try to get those touches in the paint against a swarming zone defense for Marshall. Two teams seeking out a win in Sun Belt play to start out 2026. Glad to have you along for the ride as we get set for what should be an entertaining basketball game. Two teams that love to fly up and down the court. As Grady will jump it up for Coastal with Marigny for the Herd. And away we go. First touch for Kristen Williams. As Coastal gets in their first offensive set of the afternoon. Dump it inside, Louder, in it goes, Grimes. Freshman connection there, couldn't convert it. As you look at the starting 5 for the Thundering Herd, an experienced group, but Julia, they can score in a lot of different ways.
And they're definitely a team that loves to kind of spread the court. You'll definitely see them work outside, but they do love to get inside with those paint touches.
Olsen, their freshman, lights up a 3. A game that features arguably 2 of the better freshmen in the league in Grimes and Olsen. Grady's going to try a 3. She's fouled and will go to the free throw line. So there you see the starting 5 for Coastal. Louder and Grimes, a couple of freshmen in that starting 5. You saw that connection on their first possession. But Tessa Grady, she's one, Julia, that the shots really are going to try to get going.
And she's new to this program, right? She's still kind of understanding how they style of play, but she's second highest on this team with scoring. She's a huge part of Coastal's high-scoring offense. In Coastal, great high-scoring offense already this season. They already have 4 games on the season, 100-plus point games.
One of those came on Monday night. Grady transferred in from Wisconsin after 2 years with the Badgers. Bradley nearly ripped that one away. Instead, we play on. Weaving inside, a nice take. The VCU transfer, Lewis-Otsi, who leads the Herd in scoring, gets to the cup. Grimes, Bradley, 3 in the air, missed it short, and Lewis-Otsi has the rebound. Duck it inside, a nice feed, and Marshall's having their way offensively early on as Marigny finishes. Bradley in trouble, just slides it across. Now Grimes will navigate from there. Marshall started out white hot, hitting all 3 of their first shot attempts. Grimes inside, ball fake. Had it rejected by Marigny. Olsen waits for help up top. There's Mayer. Into the corner, they'll try another one. This one pops around and out, rebound to Grimes. And Williams operates from there. Grimes will let it fly. Missed it strong. Bradley got it back, and she is fouled. And will shoot a pair. So, Julia, a couple times already we've seen Coastal attack the offensive glass, and it's going to result in free throws here.
That's going to be really critical for them to really hound the inside. Right now, Marshall's pressuring them in a strong zone and really keeping it tight on the perimeter, making it a challenge for Coastal to shoot those threes. They're still getting the shots off, but they're not as wide open as we might maybe usually see.
First one splashes through. Julie Fulks alluded to that when talking about her defense. Said a lot of times, she said, I think we're hard to game plan for and just how we rotate because it's different than just about anyone else. And people aren't as open as they think they are.
Marshall's defense has been so fantastic for them this season. And that game earlier in the season against Indiana, Marshall really kept Indiana to a low-scoring game. They did lose, but it was the second lowest scoring game for Indiana so far this season.
O'Grady takes the top off the defense with a triple there. Now the Herd back to work with a 1-point lead. 2 minutes gone by opening quarter as they try to work on this Coastal zone. Mayer catch fire, spins around and out. Tough rebound by Grady, shots one to run. Williams finds Bradley on the move. Bradley pulls up and connects. Chanticleers their first lead as Ilderton and Mayer play catch. Sets up a baseline drive. Oh, what a slip pass to Marigny inside. Ball batted around, still loose. Bodies hit the deck and a foul. It'll go against Bradley diving for the loose ball. You see the Paige Bradley pull up. And Julia, an example of how they like to operate in transition.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that she thought about it, taking it from the three-point line, but then she drove, had an easier shot for herself, wide open. Great two-point shot right there.
Mayer one-upped it with three as she got loose on the inbound. Williams. Bradley back to Kristen Williams. She'll try it from there and connect. Coach Pedersen just sort of a roll of the head. No, no, no. Yes, okay, she's got another one.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kyle, when we were watching her in warm-ups, she was warming up all the way from that City of Conway logo way beyond the three-point line, and she made about 2 or 3 of them from there. She only shot about 5 or 6, so that's just routine for her at this point.
Ilderton, the answer. The threes are flying here in the first 4 minutes. Marshall already 3 for 5 from downtown. The shots are 2 of 4. Grady back to Williams. Grady's going to get a look. She'll let it fly. Misfires this time. Offensive rebound. Grimes goes to work on the attack and can't convert. She wanted a whistle, didn't get it. Poke loose. Defense by Louder. Grimes wants it on the run. They got it to her. Grimes, she'll finish this one. It's that defense to offense. And Coach Kevin Pedersen has deemed Coastal Chaos. Catch, shoot, 3. Batted around. Williams snares the miss. Chanticleer's looking to recapture the lead. Williams at the controls. Finds Grimes. She'll fire from there. Too strong. Foul on the floor. Trying to get the rebound by Ilderton.
I think Coastal's doing a great job right now getting the ball to Kristen Williams at the top, but then they're pouring it into that high post where there's a little bit of an open gap, and Coastal's getting shots.
All tied so far, both offenses letting the 3 fly early on. Look at Julie Fulks in the second year of her tenure at Marshall, and one that has seen her share of wins as well, over 400 in her career. And Coach Pedersen, fresh off win number 500, asked Coach Fulks about sharing a sideline with someone that's picked up that many wins. She said, well, the first thing it tells me is we're both old. And so she said, we've been around a while, but she said the other thing she pointed out is how many of these coaches have come from the D2 level and D1 programs now have recognized their intelligence and brilliance and coaching mind as Lou Brown snares away the basketball. Perfect example of that is Marshall's last coach in Kim Caldwell, who was at Marshall from the D2 ranks and went right on to Tennessee for the Lady Vols.
And she's doing a phenomenal job up there. Super young coach, but still really a great coach to watch, and she's really doing a great job with Tennessee right now.
Long range three, missed everything. Houston got her hands on it underneath. And Janiah Sultan, who had such a good performance last time out, misfires here. Hadn't played since December 3rd until that game Monday. Played so well that Coach Pedersen said, you know, she gives us an element we really need. That mid-range pull-up you saw there, a big part of it. But it's this end of the floor. He said she'll get more minutes when she develops defensively. As the shot goes begging here, Harris couldn't snare the rebound. That leads to a triple. No. Offensive rebound again, wouldn't fall. Marshall comes away with another one, a third crack at it from downtown, and this time they pay it off, and Coach Pedersen is not happy.
Yeah, giving Marshall that many opportunities and that short of a sequence. Coastal's just not crashing the boards right now, not boxing out. Definitely something, if they want to win, they got to work on that further down this game.
Well, as good of a shooting team as Marshall is, you don't want to give them too many of those, because they will pay it off as they did there. Recaptures the lead, 16-13. Julia, we knew we would see the three ball. Marshall's already shot 10 of their 14 attempts are from three. They've already converted on 4. Coastal Carolina's 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. And in the Sun Belt, you're probably looking at the two teams that like to let it go more than anybody else.
And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that we've only seen 5 attempts from Coastal. I mean, for some teams, that would be a lot. You know, just still in the first quarter, for some teams, that would be a lot. But for Coastal, at this rate, that's kind of a slow three-point shooting game for them.
Chanticleers will inbound, try to handle the pressure as Jimenez navigates the shots into the set. Sultan dumps it in. Harris try to go high-low. Harris takes it herself and finishes with the left hand.
That's a great job by Coastal. I love how they're facilitating the ball right now and getting those looks inside at the high post. Every single time it's been pretty open for them, and they've been able to either get a shot up or even make a bucket.
Harris, who didn't get that rebound on the other side, tried to make up for it with a bucket. And then Aaron Pass goes begging. So here's a look at Harris. Another look at that strong take, Julia. A lot of attention on Houston down low. Opened up the alleyway. Lou Brown just did save that one. Approaching 2.5 to go, opening quarter. Chanticleer's trying to recapture the lead, and an errant pass there turns it over. Ilderton. Skipping to the baseline. Back up top. Ilderton lets the three fly, and it's all bottom. Marshall leads by 4, and Coach Pedersen looking for a new 5. How do the Chanticleers respond? Lou Brown needs help, finds Houston. 8 to fire. Jimenez tries to throw on the accelerator, steps through, and once she got there, I think it was easier than she anticipated.
Isn't it exhausting sometimes.
Yeah.
You're so prepared to take on all this contact and really muscle through, and then it turns out it's wide open.
And an and one the other way. They beat Salton to the rim. Tamaya Lewis Utsi had position down low. Foul on Salton. Blessing King finished, and that starting five back in for the Chanticleers with 1:31 to go. Marshall, in the last little bit here, Julia, has gone on a run. A 1-point lead has swelled to 6, a chance to make it 7 at the free throw line. And King banks it in. King just 43% at the free throw line, but you'll take them any way they fall. A reach-in foul against Marshall here. That is team foul 4. So they'll be over the limit next one here in this opening quarter. Bradley Grady got a look in the corner again. Misfires this time. It's that quick offense between those three. Doesn't pay off here. Now Marshall trying to expand on the lead. Mayer finds a corner. Ilderton looking for room. Slips by Louder. Skips it down low. It's a turnover. No, they call a kick. So it'll keep it with Marshall with 20 to shoot. Williams intercepts the pass. Shantz on the run. Williams, maybe ill-advised, try to slip it to Louder in a lot of traffic, and Marshall gets a turnover back in their own. Leads Mayer for a three. Not this time. Fight for the rebound. Marshall's got another one. Louder takes it away momentarily, but Mayer settles them down again as Marshall again works an extra possession. All the way to the rim and a foul. Julia, right now, Marshall being the aggressor.
I would like to see Coastal kind of, when they do get the ball, when they do have these opportunities, try to slow down their offense a little bit. I think they're going a little fast, and then they get a little hyped up because they feel the need to make up. Give them a chance to slow down, run their offense, and see what different open looks they can get against the zone.
Lewis Utsi at the line, misses the first of two. And Julie, we were talking before the game how good she's been from the line. At 85% on the year. A surprising miss there.
She's typically an automatic bucket from that free throw line, but I doubt she misses this one.
She did not. She's been automatic just about anywhere on the floor. But Coach Fulks told us her defense gets just as much of the attention, at least in their evaluation of things in film. Saying her deflections are a big part of her game and getting steals for our defense.
Yeah, 48 steals on the season. That's already a team high, and she's second highest with an offensive rebounder on her team too. So not only is she leading her team, averaging 16 points a game, but she's also getting it done in other ways.
Kristen Williams with the clock winding down delivers the dance and the triple. How good is this? Kristen Williams with the clock winding down and a new year. The dance in 2026, same as the first. And a three for Coastal. Mentioned the really good start for Marshall, a big part of that in conference play. That win over James Madison, it was their first conference loss in the regular season. Well, it's been a minute since February against Appalachian State. Coastal Carolina had their chances 1 week or a couple days earlier, but Marshall got the job done, finished them off in overtime. And the freshmen shine bright as Olsen had 26 points to lead them to that win.
And what I really liked about that game for Marshall is they held JMU less to 10 points in the fourth quarter and less to 10 points in overtime. So even though they're tired, it's a long, exciting, tough game and battle, their defense was still super disciplined.
Well, Coach Folks has talked about that, not only with the team as a whole, but Lewis Utsi, who's a big part of that story as well, said her best quarter is the fourth quarter. And it's something that they've really built on. It's the foul went on Houston on the pass underneath. Now off the inbound, they lost a shooter, misfired on the three, out of bounds. It'll stay with Marshall. Rebounding in favor of the Herd, 15-8 right now. Back outside it goes. Ilderton's three, a foul, and it's gonna go against Coastal. Coach Pedersen isn't buying it. I figured they did switch it. Coach Pedersen was confused. He said, wait a minute, my player got pushed on the ground, and so they flipped it. It is against the Herd. Be the first against Nakia Chesterfield. Marshall by 5. Chanticleers with the ball. Early on, quarter number 2. Grady turns mid-range, couldn't convert. Bradley rips the rebound. Grady was blocked on an incredible closeout from Redmond, who shut down the opportunity.
And we talked pregame, that's going to be a really big key for Marshall. Have really tight, quality closeouts on Coastal on the perimeter, and good things will happen to them and be able to stop them from beyond the three-point line.
They certainly did there. Another case of teams often think they're more open than they are. That window closed in a hurry. Williams, she'll try from mid-range. Too strong, loose on the floor. Houston tried to grab it. It's still loose. Louder fights for it. It's a held ball back to Coastal. Bradley will inbound as King checks back in for Redmond, who made that block moments ago. Bradley looking for an entry, and it comes all the way up top to Kristen Williams. Williams on Lewis Utsi. Back to Louder. Louder. Travel. To your point, Julia, maybe one of those instances we're going just a hair too quick.
Yeah, exactly. And even Kristen Williams driving just a couple seconds before that, even she looked a little off balance, maybe a possible travel there. I know Marshall was looking for that call.
Go around the horn, looking on the curl, the drive, kick it outside. And they're going to whistle a foul here as Bradley tried to get out of the way, could not. Second time in this game, Julie, we'll see a fouled three-point shooter. This time it goes against Coastal.
I'm not quite sure if she was afraid she was running into her, so she just stopped, or she tripped.
It was almost like the duck and covers what got the call.
Yeah.
But at any rate, Mayer, who is really good from the line, over 91% this year. And promptly misses the first.
Well, if I was a betting woman.
Yeah. Say percentage-wise, no way she misses both. And she makes the second. She's still trying to make it good on 2 of 3. And does. Marshall leading by 7. Chanticleers just shooting 30% so far, 6 of 20. Williams, Thought about letting it fly. Instead, he'll take it on the drive and is fouled on the way in. It's an element to her game that she has really developed and worked on. Coach Pedersen said, I sat down with her in the offseason and said, well, what do you want to accomplish? She wants to play at the next level overseas. He said, that's the part of your game. He said, everyone knows you're a shooter. Can you have a counter for the closeout? And a good example of it there.
Right, I think, her first season in the Sun Belt coming in, you could do film and stuff like that, but it's not really until you play them where you really understand what kind of three-point shooter that she is. And I think, after the second round going through conference, teams picked that up, and she's been really challenged, even at the beginning of this year, of being forced to drive, forced to kick out, and forced to just do something different than let it loose.
Been quite the facilitator at times this year, often a lot of minutes at the point guard spot. As Utsi looks to drive, Ingram awaits. Grimes nearly got a hand on a steal. Instead, Olsen goes right at her. Drive, kick, they run Ingram off the line. 10 to fire. Louis Utsi goes to work and draws the whistle. Second foul on Tessa Grady. That a big one with 7:30 to go in the half. And Grady didn't think there was a lot there, and maybe initially felt like there was more on the catch than afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a big foul because Grady now will sit with 2 fouls. Important minutes here for Paige Bradley.
If I'm Grady, I can understand being frustrated definitely over that call.
Louis Utsi missed another one. Houston rips away the rebound. Louis Utsi's missed 2 free throws here in the first half. Just 2 of 4 from the line, normally over 85% from there. Low pass for Williams, did a nice job to retrieve it. Jimenez looks to penetrate inside, floater is good. Diana Jimenez playing in her first Sun Belt game. She wasn't able to go in either of the first 2 against James Madison and Georgia State, but shows her impact there. Ingram lets it go and splashes in a triple. Ingram just 27% from out there, but drilled that one. The lead 7. Williams, the percentage a lot higher from out there. Drive inside. Jimenez got her hands on the basketball. It's a tie-up, which Marshall will keep possession. Man, we talk about players within the gym range. Kristen Williams certainly qualifies.
Yeah, and she's 5th in the nation for 3 points per game, but there she is from deep. I mean, I think I talked about this my last broadcast. Not quite Caitlin Clark level, but she's inching further and further towards that.
Caitlin Clark would approve.
Yeah, I think she has, a little bit inspiration there, maybe.
Caitlin Clark's probably wishing she had that much space.
That's
She
true.
hasn't had
That's
much
true.
of it.
That's true. Deeper and deeper into Caitlin Clark's career. I mean, they were face guarding her starting at the half-court line.
Kick, 3, corner, no. Offensive rebound, lost her footing, but did get it back out to Ilderton. Trap comes there in the pressure cooker. Ilderton lost the handle. Ball pressure wreaks havoc and creates a turnover. The 4th for Marshall. Williams comes back to get it. Zips a pass high for Jimenez. And it's a turnover. Jimenez got her hands right back on another one. And you see the difference for Coastal with her in the lineup. That exact type play is what they were missing against Georgia State and James Madison.
It's just a different level of aggression, but controlled aggression, and knowing what to do and how to take advantage of those situations. I think she's bringing a great impact to this offense now.
Grimes.
And defense.
Back to Williams. They run her off the line. Mid-range. Way too strong. Too close for her, maybe. Williams already with 11 points. 3 of 3 from downtown. And 2 of the 3 not close to the line itself. Driving pitch. Lewis Utsi waits for the screen. Clock down to 5. Open is Marigny. Clinks it, and it'll be Coastal basketball. So Salton back in here. Salton getting some run. After that performance, double figure scoring last time out. That was how efficient she was. Williams off the bounce. Louder, ball hums around. Grimes drives inside. She's fouled and it'll go to the line. Kinsey Grimes will be at the line, trying to cut it back to 1 possession when we come back. Fun one brewing in Conway so far. Marshall leads by 4. Well, Kristen Williams having her imprint all over this game and from downtown and beyond. She's been a difference maker already. 3 triples so far this afternoon.
And pregame going into this, one of the craziest stats that I found is she was shooting .430 from the three-point line. From inside the three-point line, she was shooting .440. She's almost as shooting as good from the three-point line than she does inside the three-point line. That's crazy to me.
Well, and she's had 14 triples her last 2 games combined, 7 each. And, well, we still have nearly midway through the second quarter here, and she's already well on her way to maybe that mark again. And she's really just a difference maker because as a defense, especially a zone defense, you got to respect her multiple feet beyond the three-point line, and just changes how you do things defensively.
Yeah, and Coach Julie Folks, in the phone call earlier this week, we asked her, how do you defend Kristen Williams? She said her game plan was to just hopefully not get the ball in her hands ever so that she just doesn't have to do it, because she said that would be easier than trying to defend her both ways.
Well, Kristen Williams has proven it right. 11 points in 12 minutes. As Grimes missed the first of 2. So Grimes, who's had a couple really good games in a row, most notably against James Madison, has struggled a bit in the last 2 sets as she sees that one go. But Coach Pedersen said sometimes you got to be reminded she is a freshman, and they put so much on her offensively, but see the talent on display and what's in the cupboard for Coach Pedersen and the Chanticleers.
I think Coach Pedersen's recruiting has been really impactful and successful, and we're seeing that with pickups like Grimes and even pickups in the portal like Grady.
And Kristen Williams a year ago. Grimes looks to drive inside. Grimes goes to work and one. She's fired up, and you could relive say she said right here. Well, she'll have a chance to tie it right here after this incredible drive. See, off the bounce, just the length. Mentioned perhaps 2 best freshmen in the Sun Belt, and Olivia Olson and Kinsey Grimes going head-to-head. In this one, Grimes trying to hold serve to her their end of the bargain. Last 2 possessions shows why she's such a tough cover. Grimes can't get the bounce on the free throw though. So tough start for her from the line, going 1 of 3, but Coastal within 1. Been a while for Marshall, 2.5 minutes since they've scored. Trying to change that in the corner is Olsen. No. Grimes taps the rebound, Williams, and she's ready to fly the other way. Finds Grimes, pump, drive, Grimes at it again, to the rim again, and scores again.
And I'll tell you what, I think, Coach Pedersen was maybe a little bit nervous earlier in the game with Marshall going on that big run, but now we see Coastal on an 8-0 run right now.
Luzutzi drive, kick to answer and quiet the run. It's Ilderton with a big triple. Puts Marshall back in front by a pair. Louder slides it in. Sultan pull up. Too strong. Rebound fought for by Harris. Couldn't quite corral it. Marshall gets the stop they were looking for. Olsen, she thought about a step back. Grimes closed out quickly. Luzutzi gets a screen, fires behind it. Harris altered it, and she traveled down low, did Yeast. And the shots will get another chance to draw level.
We're definitely seeing those turnovers. Both teams, struggling with that a little bit, but also both teams that create a lot of turnovers. We're definitely seeing that playing an impact here in a game with possession and in time of possession as well.
7th turnover for the Thundering Herd. Still 3 minutes to go in this opening half. Jimenez, ill-advised pass there, and Marshall, it was Yeast who got the deflection. And the takeaway, backdoor goes Yeast, right at Harris, couldn't finish. And a strong rebound inside as Jimenez wants to run the other way. Jimenez drives, she goes on the attack and is fouled on the way in. And Julie Folks can't believe it. Take another look.
It looks like a little bit of a body push off maybe. But Jimenez, she's attacking the rim. She's doing everything right. She sees an open lane. She's going straight to the rim. She's playing that exactly the way that she should.
And Jimenez pours in the first, and banter between crowd back and forth. Good bit of Marshall folks here, those that have second homes in the Myrtle Beach area. And
not a bad spot to be spending your New Year's Eve celebrations, your New Year's Day celebrations.
A little warmer than Huntington, I would imagine. They duck inside, look to play bully ball in there. That's an offensive foul as Williams got hit with the elbow. So turnover number 8 as Harris took one of the chops here. It's that offhand, that elbow that got her in trouble. Shots can recapture the lead. Jimenez finds Sultan. They look to swarm there. Sultan needed space, found Grimes. Grimes on the move. Jimenez, pump, mid-range, open, and book it.
That was beautiful. I love the pass across, little pump fake, opening up that shot, getting the mid-range. Great job there.
Shots have hit 5 of their last 7. Marshall's turned it over 4 times in the last 5 minutes. Looking for an opening, just not many right now for Ilderton and company. She looks to create here. Off the bounce. Nice feed inside and rejected is Yeast, but a foul will put Timberland Yeast at the free throw line. Redshirt sophomore got high praise from her head coach as well. Coach Folks says when Yeast is on the floor, things just work better, and they worked well here to get her to the free throw line. Yeast, another Thundering Herd player, 70% or better from the free throw line. It's a Marshall team that shoots free throws extraordinarily well. Has no problem with the first. One more would tie us yet again here in this opening half.
I'll tell you what, first day of 2026, I'm already pretty happy with the type of quality basketball that we're getting from this game. And it's tough playing in this Sun Belt. There's a lot of really quality teams, and Coach Julie Fulkus, she kind of noted on it about how difficult the style of conference play it is, just with you're playing the same teams back-to-back weeks, basically. But they're doing a great job right here. I think this is a really great battle going on. Still tied with a minute 25 left in the first half.
Already 7 lead changes in this one. Nine to shoot. Offensive foul against the Chanticleers. I think they got Houston with the illegal screen. That's her second foul. What's the impressive part about this run? It's all with Tessa Grady having 2 fouls. Now Houston joins her with 2. So get a look at the illegal pick here on the far side of your screen.
And we see it looks like Coastal's size, shrinking a little bit on the court with some of their bigger, taller players sitting on the bench. They're going to have to be able to adapt to that.
Sultan helps poke it away. Now Sultan on the run. Sultan hesitates, puts her shoulder down, goes to the rim, can't finish. Harris got it back, and the shots reset. And the pass deflected by Lewis Utsi. Grimes was wide open, but the deflection creates a turnover. Good scramble defense from Marshall. Lewis Utsi with 7 to work. Fires away, way off the mark. Shot clock is off. Kristen Williams notices it and says, we'll wait for the last. Tied at 34, and Marshall going to pay close attention to her with the basketball here.
Whether it's her shooting it from that city logo, would it be surprising to us, or it's just her ability to see open reads and really do a good job of facilitating
Surrounded
the ball.
by 3 members of the herd, gets it away. Jimenez puts it on the deck, and that takes us to the half. 3 Marshall players came running at Kristen Williams, and it looks like they're going to put some time back here. So there's a second left. There was a travel, I think. So Marshall will have 1 second to go. Until intermission. So 1 second to go here in quarter 2. As they'll fire, nothing comes of it. And now we go to the break. Tied at 34. Coastal Marshall in a good one to start week 2 of conference play and to start 2026 as the Chanticleers and Thundering Herd are tied at halftime.
I was like,
Welcome back inside the HCC Center. Knotted up at halftime between Marshall and Coastal Carolina. Kyle Rush here with you, along with Julia Kennedy. And Julia, an entertaining first half, really a half a runs. First quarter really belonged to Marshall, but Coastal punched back in quarter number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I really enjoy seeing, too, is Marshall has double three-point attempts compared to Coastal, which is very shocking if you know this Coastal team. But we see that paying off for the Chants, that they've taken their advantage, going to the paint. They have 10 points in the paint right now, and they're leading the Thundering Herd in that category.
Well, the big part of the story was Kristen Williams. When you talk about Coastal's three, she found a plethora of them from beyond the arc. But it was a lot of the mid-range game. Marshall running out of the three-point line. Jimenez, the mid-range jumper there. And so much a part of what Coastal has done is using that aggressive zone against them. But Marshall, as you mentioned, firing from three at will. Grady a couple early for Coastal as well.
And what I really like about Coastal right now is they're not relying on their typical offense of that three-pointers. They're getting a lot of looks right now at the high post, dumping it in, and like you said, really taking advantage of those mid-range shots.
Well, Kristen Williams, AC, one of the triples there. That was maybe the toughest of the bunch from a contest perspective, but Marshall has plenty of threes in their own. They've shot 22 of them in the first half. As you look at the numbers, impressive part, Coastal 4 of 9 from downtown, 7 of 22 is Marshall, but it's taken them 22 attempts to get those 7 makes. You see the rebounding numbers. That was really lopsided early. Coastal's done a nice job coming back in that rebounding count.
And one thing that we talked about was having valuable possessions for Coastal. And what that means is not necessarily quantity shots, but quality shots. And we're seeing that from them beyond the three-point line.
And Kristen Williams has been a big part of the story. Subject of our Chanticleer spotlight. In the last 2 games, she has 7 threes in each of them so far. She's got 3 of them. And she's gotten some points at the line, leading all scorers with 11 in the first half. Shots will look for more from her. Marshall will get the ball to start half number 2. And away we go. Ilderton, the opening touch. Looking to dump it inside. Ilderton, 3. Miss it off the mark. Loose ball rebound out to Marshall. So Grimes was the last one to touch it. Entry comes all the way to Mayer up top. Grady nearly got a deflection. She's got to be careful, though, not to pick up that third early here in the half. Mayer lets the 3 go. Around the cylinder and out. Houston, a tough rebound inside. And Williams comes the other way. Chants trying to go in front. Williams, pull up, no. Bradley the rebound. Kick. Grimes weaves into the corner. For 3, it's Williams. Yes! Her 4th of the night.
You know, Coach Pedersen, he said it best about her. When she shoots too quick, typically not necessarily a great shot, but when she holds that follow through and sticks it, she shoots a really high percentage for them.
Houston, another tough rebound inside. Williams has it again, ahead to Grimes. Grimes spins, offensive foul. So there's the rebound. Grimes fighting Williams in the corner. And the high rainbow 3 found the corner pocket. That 3 the difference in the game right now. Early on, quarter number 3. Kristen Williams has started 2026 right where she left off in 2025.
You know, she had a great 2025 year last season. She was ranked 4th in CCU program history with 82 made threes in a single season, and that led the Sunbelt for that season.
Grimes taking it into her own hands. It's loose on the floor. Kick ball, it'll keep it here. So they'll leave the shot clock as is at 24. And the shots will draw up an inbounds play. See if they try to get it back to Williams after the entry. Instead, right to Houston, who goes right to the rim and is fouled. Tracy Houston, well traveled, played at Pittsburgh and at UNC Charlotte before finding her way to Conway.
She's slowly starting to kind of come into this game. Had a little bit of a slow start when she was on the court, but now she's being able to make a little bit of an impact. There's her first point of the game. She's third highest on the team in scoring, averaging about 10, 11 points per game.
Couldn't convert the second of two. And Coach Pedersen, when he talks about Tracy Houston, says probably the most powerful type post player I've coached. Just from pure power that she can play with inside. And they go right at her here. A nice take from Lewis Utsi under tough pressure, cutting it back to a 2-point game.
Lewis Utsi having a little bit of a slower game for her. And those first two conference games, JMU and App State, she averaged 25 points per game in those Sun Belt games. Here, she's still under 10 points on the day.
Williams back to work on the drive-by, missed the lay-in. Neely got a steal though on the back end. Now Marshall, brief moment with numbers. Shots try to get back defensively, they do. A 2 to tie, 3 for the lead back for the Thundering Herd. They'll kick to Mayer for 3 in the corner. That is gonna get the bounce. The iron is kind and the Herd back on top. Grimes on the attack, kicks. Williams got a look. 3 more. She is in fuego.
Wide open, and Coach Julie Folks just looking a little frustrated from her defense that they were able to leave her that wide open and just not really having anybody close.
She doesn't get many looks that open. Made them pay. And the shot clears back in front quickly here. Step back, Olsen to answer, you bet.
Olsen, another player for the Thundering Herd that's had a little bit of a slow start today. Those are her first couple of points on the day. But once again, averaging 22 points in those first 2 Sun Belt games. Really good player, just a little bit of a slow day today.
Houston on the attack, +1. Tonight, Kristen Williams does all the shooting out there. I'm going to try to get 3 the hard way. Watch this powerful move to the rim after the entry.
You talked about how strong she is, how much muscle she has, but she also has so much length to her. And that gives her the ability to be super athletic and be able to make those plays with a little bit of a height and length advantage down low.
It's also Marigny's 3rd foul. Long rebound. Bradley got it. Back to Grady for 3 to make him pay. No. Grimes snatches the rebound. Grady weaves in traffic. Rejected. And then a foul on Houston will give it back to Marshall. But how about the rejection defensively by Blessing King?
That was such a great job. She stuck with her, but managed to keep her hands nice and high, not drawing that foul.
Figure, yeah, that's the 3rd on Tracy Houston. So right when she starts to get in a little bit of a rhythm, she has to come out of the basketball game. Big play there from King, because after that Grimes rebound, you thought maybe numbers in their favor going to the rim. But Blessing King erased that opportunity. Transfer to Marshall from Morehead State. Thundering Herd glad she did. Mayer steps into one. Rolls around the cage, didn't fall. Tough rebound inside. It's loose in there. Held ball, arrow to Coastal.
Coach Fulks talked earlier about how Coastal's style of offense is kind of hard to defend because it's a lot of 4, sometimes even 5 outside the perimeter, and that means just a lot of free range shooting. But I think we're seeing that a little bit translating right now with Marshall there, with Meredith Mayer. She's been throwing up a lot of threes right now.
Grimes look to attack on Olsen. Goes right by her. Couldn't get the bucket or the call. Out of bounds last touch by Grimes, as Coach Pedersen wanted a call there, didn't get one on the Grimes drive. Fun part of this matchup too, Grimes and Olsen have spent a lot of the day shadowing one another. Approaching midway, third quarter. 1 point Chanticleer lead. Looking to pivot, nowhere to go. Now finds Olsen, who lets it fly. Not on target. Williams tapped the rebound away from Mayer. That allowed Harris to corral. Jimenez. Crossover, slips it down low, and Bradley gets the reversal. Olsen. Grimes got the deflection. It's a steal. Jimenez. Lead pass, too much on it for Bradley. That leads us to a timeout. Jimenez knew that one had too much on it, but Julia, talk about a good pass. This one as good as it gets.
Talk about a beauty, too. Finishing right there at the rim. Gets you excited, doesn't it?
So Diana Jimenez, you see that great feed moments ago. Here's another look. Just thread the needle and leading Bradley to the reversal. Julia, on the season, assist to turnover ratio has been her friend. Marshall, though, has defended her pretty well today.
Yeah, absolutely. This is somebody who normally does a really good job of handling the ball, but Marshall is giving her a ton of pressure right now. She's maybe struggling a little bit to handle with it, 5 turnovers on the day, but looking to the rest of the season, she's normally taking care of the basketball really well.
You see the numbers say when she starts at point guard. Shots have been pretty good. She did not start today. She came off the bench, trying to work her way back from injuries suffered early in the year. That last dish put Coastal up by 3. Mayer got loose, but shots recovered quickly. It's really swarming defense for Coastal Carolina. Yeast on Jimenez. Picked up her dribble, finds King. 4 to shoot. Yeast inside, pitch back. Ilderton from long range, foul down low is against Coastal Carolina. It's going to go on Jimenez. Let's see if you can see on the rebound action.
Yeah, it looks like she's pulling down a little bit on that left arm, a little bit of a hold right there.
Yeah. We're flipping between us and the Rose Bowl. That's a 10-yard penalty, and we'll replay first down. Ilderton catches the high pass. Yeast dances inside. Kick. 3. Ilderton. No. Bradley lost her footing. That allows Marshall to get another crack at it here. Mayer. Drive, kick, Ilderton again for 3. Yes! Offensive rebound leads to a triple.
That ends the scoring drought right there for Marshall. That it went on for almost 3 minutes, but Marshall being able to get a little bit of momentum back in their offense.
Tied again at 45. Harris downstairs on King. No, got it back. Turns, pivots, couldn't finish, got it back again, and now she's fouled. Tatiana Harris, relentless pursuit inside, and she'll get a trip for 2 at the line.
You know, we saw that from frustration from Pedersen earlier in a game in a kind of a similar situation with Marshall. But here Coastal being able to keep getting those rebounds, taking advantage, and hopefully here going to be able to get some second chance points.
Harris shoot 2 at the line and misfired on the first. She'll get one more. Try to give the lead, put it back in Coastal's hands. Harris, a Camden, South Carolina native, transferred in from Mars Hill. And that free throw gives us our 12th lead change of the day. A fun way to start 2026. Marshall hopes the 13th is on the horizon here. Lewis Utsi wants to duck it inside. They do for King. They swarm her down there. 10 to fire. Into King again. Triple team this time. Comes back out to Yeast, who can't connect on the 3. Bradley makes sure it's one and done this time for Marshall. Williams lets them slide by. Looks for 3 more. Off the mark this time. And now Marshall comes racing back the other way. Approaching 2 to go, third quarter. It's been pretty nip and tuck this entire quarter. Olsen, a tough one. It's all strings.
I'm glad to see her coming alive a little late in this game. I think it took her a little bit, but she's slowly starting to get that fire under her. And we could potentially be seeing her kind of lighten up here later in the second half.
Marshall by 2. Grady, the answer, is off the mark. Harris, a rebound and foul.
You know, I just made the connection there. Tatiana Harris from Camden, also from Camden, Joyce Edwards at South Carolina. Can you imagine in high school ball having to play that duo?
How's that for a front court?
I'll tell you what, if I was any other school in that high school area, in that Columbia area, I would be so locked out, just totally unencouraged.
We got to protect the paint.
Yeah. and how do you do that against Joyce Edwards and Harris right there?
Tracy Houston is checked back in. Williams tried to get it to her, but she was out of bounds on the deflection. So Coastal turns it over for the 11th time. And Marshall a chance to add on to the lead here. The final minute 34 of this third quarter. Ilderton is able to pass out of it. Lewis Utsi on the run. Kick, corner 3, Ingram, good. And as big as any team has had a lead here in the half, it's a 5-point advantage for Marshall. Grady trying to get 3 of it back. She does.
Those type of skin passes are so good in breaking down a zone defense, and Marshall has been pressuring them with a ton of aggression right now in that zone.
Lewis Utsi can't get it. Weak side rebound, Ilderton. So play catch around the horn. Lewis Utsi on the attack this time. Got the whistle, got the bucket. And she'll try for 3 the hard way. So Lewis Utsi will go to the line. 11 points for her, 6 assists, 5 rebounds for the VCU transfer. Splashed in the free throws, so now, just like that, the lead back to 5. And Marshall got a deflection on the pressure. as Chanticleer's trying to navigate it here. Bradley able to get it across. Kristen Williams asks for the ball and gets it. Williams on the attack, finds Grimes. She looks for three. It's too strong. Houston got it back. She goes for one more. Came out of her shoes, but finished the and one opportunity. Redmond commits the foul. Houston, Rice Miles says, yeah, we're all good. I'll lace it up a little tighter for the next one. Now tries to convert at the free throw line to get it back to a 2-point game. She does. So they'll play offense for defense here, protect Houston with those three fouls with the shot clock dark here in the third quarter. Marshall leading by 2, trying to expand it before we head to the fourth. Nearly knocked loose, all kinds of trouble there. Timeout, Marshall.
Tell you what, that Coastal chaos is on full display right now. I love that they're trapping in those corners, using the out of bounds lane kind of as an extra defender to them and taking advantage of that.
Well, Julie Folks knew her team was in the pressure cooker there and on the verge of a potential turnover. And so it takes us to a timeout. See how Marshall closes down the third quarter on the other side, leading by a pair. And Marshall with the basketball trying to plot a way to expand that 2-point lead. They called timeout to avoid what appeared to be a nearing turnover. So they'll inbound on the sideline. Chanticleer's trying to dig deep defensively. See where Marshall turns to try to extend this lead before the fourth. Ilderton with Williams shadowing. Ingram, Redmond with the clock winding down. It's an offensive foul. Bradley takes the charge. And now Coastal will have a couple seconds here to try to do something with it. They're Kristen Williams fireworks before we get done with the quarter.
Paige Bradley does such a good job of making sure that her feet are still locked into the ground. That's really hard sometimes. When you're moving with the defender, you want to move with them. So be able to stand still and hold that. Great job by her absorbing that contact.
Kristen Williams, 2 players around her. Grimes, back to Williams, not enough time. And Williams might have gotten poked there right at the end. She appears to be okay. I think she was more upset there was no time left for her to try a half-court heave. Nonetheless, it's a 2-point lead for Marshall as we march to the fourth. So, Tessa Grady and company look to lead the Chanticleers back. Just a 2-point deficit as we start the fourth for Coastal. Thundering Herd trying to go to 3-0 in Sun Belt play. Olsen, give and go, 3, popped halfway down and out of bounds. Back to Coastal Carolina. Now the attention turns inside as one of the Thundering Herd players, it's Marigny, landed awkwardly, and she's going to go straight to the bench here. And in comes Chesterfield. Kyle Rush, Julia Kennedy, glad you're spending part of your New Year's Day with us. Good basketball game on our hands. Houston got position down low, couldn't finish. Knocked around and saved, but right to Marshall as Houston couldn't finish down low to tie it, so the Thundering Herd back to work. Lewis Utsi draws the whistle. Julia, something she does so well, getting to the free throw line. And as Julie Folks told us, this is her time, her quarter, where statistically she's the best.
Yeah, and she's had a great success so far in the Sun Belt Conference, earning, I believe, back-to-back Sun Belt Player of the Week honors. She's definitely earned those titles these last 2 weeks, starting in conference play.
Something we don't normally see from Lewis Utsi is misses at the free throw line. She's got 3 of them today. Just 3 of 6 at the stripe. Make it 3 of 7.
I think we might have jinxed her, Kyle.
I don't know that I can run away from that one. Houston goes to work inside and 1. It counts and a foul.
Just another example of Houston going strong to the rim and using her length to go up high and finish high as well at the rim. Great job. See if we can get a bucket here to try to complete that three-point play.
Houston now a chance to give Coastal the lead again. She does. It's the 13th lead change in the game. And we still got over 9 to go. Lewis Utsi has it in her hands again. Quickly gives Olsen. Working on Grady. Hesitates. Olsen pivots. Fires. Had it blocked. A late whistle is going to go against Tessa Grady. Third foul on Grady will send Olsen to the free throw line. See the follow through there. Got her on the right arm. Olsen 80% on the year from the stripe. And misses the second. Loose on the floor. Grimes comes away with it. Shauna Clears trying to march with numbers. Grimes goes on the attack and traveled.
That's where Coastal sometimes gets a little too fast for their own good. I know she was in transition trying to make that bucket.
Boy, I don't know. I don't know if that third foot landed before she let it go. It was certainly close. As is, we're tied at 55 all. That one's inside. Grady got her hand in the cookie jar. It'll stay with Marshall. But Grady nearly came away with a steal.
I'll tell you what, that was a great backdoor cut. If Olsen was able to get that, that would have been a wide open bucket down in the
Williams does get the steal. Williams on the run. Dumps to Bradley. Bradley gives Coastal the lead. Olsen steps into one. Back to Marshall in front. Olsen has stepped on the accelerator to start the fourth. Dump it in. Bradley. Houston wants it down there. They got it to her. She finishes and 1.
I'll tell you what, that's been Houston's bread and butter right now in this game. I think she definitely has a little bit of a height advantage down low, so she's able to get that ball up and in, but so good just attacking and going straight for it.
The fourth foul on Chesterfield. She'll come out of the game. Back in comes Blessing King, who has played well for Marshall. Houston trying to give the Chants a 2-point lead back. Free throw too strong. Lewis Utsi has the miss. Lewis Utsi on the accelerator. Into the corner. Olsen has 3 more.
Yeah, that's tough. She's hot right now. She is hot, hot, hot. Tough to leave that shooter wide open in the corner like that.
Olsen having herself a quarter. 7 points for her in the fourth. All the points for Marshall belongs to the freshman. 7 of her 16. Grady looks for an opening, finds one, couldn't bank it in, got it back. No, but a whistle. She'll go to the line to shoot a 2. But Olivia Olson, Julia, has entered the chat in a big way here in the fourth quarter for Marshall.
She leads the team, 34 threes on the season. That was the stat line entering into this game, and she is just adding to it with 5 more on the day.
35% from downtown. A game we knew the 3 ball would rain. How about 2 players, 1 aside, have 5 triples. Olsen now matching the number for Kristen Williams from beyond the arc, and Grady's 2 free throws match Marshall's total at 61. What a finish we have in store. Marshall looking to go 3-0 in the league. The shots looking for win 1. Olsen, heat check, not this time. Houston pulled down the miss. Bradley, room to operate. She'll fire away. Missed it badly. Good recovery defense from Marshall. Utsi on the run. Nearly had it picked. Needs help. Finds Olsen. Olsen, a step away. Not this time. Right on line, but missed it short. 6 minutes to play. Tie game. Bradley has it in the paint. Bradley can't finish. Got a path right to the rim, but couldn't lay it in. We remain tied at 61. King on Houston. Draws contact. It'll shoot 2. Good news for Marshall to get to the line. King, though, has struggled from there, but a really good take here. The 4th foul on Houston. Tell you what, pretty good looking stroke for someone shooting 43% from the line on the year.
You know, I don't blame her. And they just snapped. Marshall's they had a little bit of a scoring drought. She's brings some energy back, some life back into her offense right there.
Shauna clears a drought of their own. They've missed their last 4 from the field. Bradley. Houston goes to work again with a jump hook. No. Rebound. It's a foul on Marshall underneath. Their 4th team foul, so that's the last one to give. Next one will be free throws the rest of the way for the Chanticleers. Jimenez and Harris back in for Grady and Houston.
And I'll tell you what, the Chants have done a really good job of feeding Paige Bradley the ball, whether it's in the high post, whether it's at the elbows right there of the key. The problem is she has her back to the basket, and twice now we've seen her face the basket and realize she has a wide open lane, and then she ends up being a step late because it's too late to realize.
Grimes floats it up and in. It's turned into the freshman show. Williams, nearly, yes, it is a 5-second count. Knew that clock was close. It ran out on Ilverton. Coastal's defense forces the turnover. They'll have the basketball with the 1-point lead. And Kristen Williams fired up as we head down the stretch. already a competitive start to Sun Belt play. Marshall just played Appalachian State a week ago. They'll play again on Saturday. Then they'll play Coastal again next week. Part of that schedule oddity that Julie Folks talked to us about with Old Dominion sandwiched in the middle. Chanticleers will host Georgia Southern before they go up to Boone, and then the rematch with Marshall. And well, basketball fans can only hope the rematch will be as good as this one has been. Chanticleers the lead by 1 with the basketball. Kristen Williams needs help. It is deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Grimes. And out of the break, Coastal Carolina turns it over.
You know, even though we're seeing that turnover, I think so far today, both teams have relatively done a good job of taking care of the ball. You have two teams that are really good at forcing turnovers, and both of them keeping it relatively low compared to their season. Marshall with 13 so far, Coastal right there with 12. So they're pretty even neck and neck.
Both teams force 20 plus a game. Lewis Utsi looked for a back door, nothing was there. She tries to take matters into her own hands. Finds Mayer, who buries the three. She hid behind a screen, drilled a triple, and gives Marshall the 2-point lead. Grimes on the attack, rejected inside. Hell ball will stay with Coastal as Marigny denied access at the rim. See Marigny. And then the tie up thereafter. Houston back in for Harris. 4:02 to play. Shots trying to draw level again. Comes out, Jimenez, foul, 2 free throws coming as Marshall is over the limit. That's probably the worst part about that foul if you're Marshall. Second on Lewis Utsi, sends Jimenez to the free throw line.
Yeah, and that's just competitiveness. Both of them going for the ball at the same time. Lewis Utsi obviously over her head, loses sight of where Jimenez is at and just collides.
Splashes in the first. Jimenez now with 7 points. Coming off the bench, trying to give them a lift in this last 4:01. That one ties it. 8 ties, 8-team lead changes. Inside, 4 to go. Olsen started the quarter hot, goes back to work. Drive, kick, 3, Ilderton, no. Rebound, Bradley snares it away, but she was on the end line. It'll stay Marshall basketball. Tessa Grady re-enters. She takes the spot of Jimenez. Marigny back to Ilderton for 3, no. Batted around, still won't fall. Wrestled out by Olsen. Mayer got a look and delivers the triple.
What a great shot there by Mayer, being able to sink it, even with Paige Bradley's hand basically in her face. Kind of a contested 3, but still able to sink that and give the Thundering Herd some momentum.
Mayer delivering again for Marshall. She has 14 here tonight. And so often that she has delivered for Marshall. She was part of that team 2 years ago under Coach Kim Caldwell that won the Sun Belt. She was an integral part of that unit. Chose to stay with Julie Folks And boy, the Thundering Herd are glad to have her. She has been instrumental in that transition and keeping that same high standard, and she can flat out shoot the rock. She'll swap out here. Marshall, 2 timeouts remaining after that one there. Chanticleers trail by 3. Just another day in the Sun Belt.
Sun Belt, Fun Belt, right?
Williams, Grimes, slip it in. Houston, it's loose. Jimenez goes to the deck to get it. Grimes somehow able to come away with it. She's fouled and will shoot free throws. So really a break for Coastal Carolina there out of the scrum. Nearly lost it a couple times, and they'll go to the free throw line.
Coach Fulks there looking for a little bit of an explanation. I think they're saying Grimes through an elbow.
Grimes pours in the first. See Julie Fulks looking on. They were in a dog fight against James Madison. The game that went to overtime. Game against Appalachian State, they won. That one was close. Starting the 4th quarter before the Herd pulled away. They got another one coming down to the wire here in Conway. Working around the horn, Lewis Utsi with 12. Looks to drive, backs her way in. Kick, Mayer, 3, splashdown. Meredith Mayer again.
That's a huge momentum boost for Marshall, a big energizer for them, especially as they're getting late in this game. It's been a really tense game. They're tired, they're exhausted. Little things like that can really motivate a team.
Nearly another Chanticleer turnover. 12 to fire. Shot clock winding down. Williams makes her move, fires away, and is fouled, and will get 3 free throws to try to draw it level. Well, not level, but back within 1. The 4th foul on Olsen as she came to contest late. Second time in the game we've seen a player sort of duck to try to avoid the foul and then picked it up anyway.
I'm not sure if that's like a new defensive strategy that I just, maybe it's past my age and I'm not aware of, but I mean, I'm not that old.
Man, Williams barely moved the net on that one, and she'll get 1 more.
Yeah, what's better, letting Kristen Williams take a deep 3-pointer or giving her 3 free throws? I don't know.
I don't think either one of those is on Julie Fulks' call sheet. And the 3rd one danced around a while, but does fall through. Grady comes in, Jimenez out. Offense for defense goes Kevin Pedersen. This team trying to get a stop and then see if they can't climb back on top. Big part of that might be finding number 23, Meredith Mayer, who's hit 3s on back-to-back sequences. In the pressure cooker here, it is a turnover. Marshall wanted the timeout. They say she stepped on the inline. Both coaches were within about 30 feet of each other pleading their case. The referee stuck in the middle. You decide. Watch right there. You see the foot. She stepped out of bounds. Now the officials talking things over. Well, Ilderton having a conversation. Coach Fulks is out on the floor. And Coach Pedersen saying, wait a minute. We can't just stop the game for this conversation. And Coach Fulks beside herself. And Coastal Carolina is saying, wait a minute, why can't we just play ball here?
Looks like maybe the assistants are trying to watch that replay on maybe an iPad,
Yeah,
trying to get a better look.
Trying to see if maybe there could be a challenge there, but certainly a stall tactic, and now they're telling both benches to take a seat. Now we get ready for play again. Inside 2 to go. Foul, Louis Utsi. 2 free throws coming for Coastal. And as you might imagine, Coach Folks doesn't like that one either.
No, coming out of a turnover like that, stepping out of bounds, and then not even a second later getting a late foul like that, putting Coastal at the line, giving them a chance to take the lead in this game late.
I think it's just a foul. It's at half court. Not in a scoring position as Jimenez goes back to the free throw line and converts the first to tie it again. Chanticleers without a field goal the last 3 minutes, yet they're level. And Jimenez knocked them both down. Coastal Carolina is 11 of 12 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. Marshall, meanwhile, just 2 of 6. Final 2 minutes. Nearly a 10-second count. They just got it across with Ilderton. Ilderton waits for Olsen. 8 to fire. Olsen somehow gets it to Utsi. Louis Utsi is fouled and will shoot a pair.
Man, that's tough, especially with 1 to 2 seconds left on the shot clock, getting that foul called late.
Jimenez pleading her case to Coach Pedersen, and Coach Pedersen said, all right, and pointed to the scores table. As Grimes will check out of the game.
You know, confidence in yourself, it has its advantages. You know, you speak up for yourself every now and then. Doors will, you'll notice they'll start to open a little bit.
It's more like the free throws we're used to seeing Louis Utsi at. She buried the first. 1 more to come to try to give Marshall the lead back. And she does. 20 lead changes in this basketball game. And with 1:23 to go, we might have more coming.
I had a pretty good idea what I thought this game was going to play out to look like. Did not think it was going to be this back and forth of a game, but I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see a really good conference competitive game.
Bradley tried a wraparound pass, deflected out of bounds. Trying to get it to Houston in the middle of that zone. Boy, just the weight on every possession down the stretch here. Grady got a step, goes inside and scores.
Great job for Grady. 12 points on the day for her.
Yeast drives on Jimenez, slips it, Olsen, 3, got it! Marshall by a pair. Jimenez hesitates, spins, no whistle, Coastal basketball. They are fighting down there. How about this from the freshman?
Yeah, Olivia Olsen has really come alive in this fourth quarter so far. She's shooting 500 from behind the arc with 6 3-pointers on the day.
Jimenez, Bradley, pull up, book it. Tie game. Can Coastal get another stop? Final 20 seconds of regulation. 5 on the timer. And Marshall gets a timeout with 1 second left. I think Coach Folks was wanting her to dribble to that side of the floor. It took a long time for that to happen. Now it's a late clock situation. And if you're Marshall, your options are limited here with 5 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think Folks is maybe wishing that she called that maybe a hair second or two a little earlier. It's going to be tough. Pretty much catch and shoot right there on the clock.
Here's another look. Ilderton's over there, and she backs away. You see Coach Folks saying, hey, we want it right here. She goes back toward midcourt, and it says, no, come back again, and then calls timeout. But, man, now the shot clock down to 1. Possession arrow does favor Marshall here. That's important to note with 5 seconds. But in the women's game, too, Coastal gets a defensive rebound. They get called timeout and advance the basketball. And the waning seconds to decide each team's third Sun Belt tilt of the year. And if you're Coastal Carolina, you know the message is defend, but do not foul.
Absolutely. Coastal, I mean, they've been playing a lot of aggressive defense style, a lot of trap, late in this fourth quarter. They just need to make sure that they stay disciplined and stay controlled when they do that.
Olsen has been a big bucket getter here in the fourth quarter. The freshman has 10 points of her 19 in the fourth quarter. Officials talking about time on the shot clock and game clock here as they go to look at that, and because they're doing so, each team still being told to head back towards the benches. Man, how much fun is this to start 2026?
Yeah, it's exciting. If it doesn't give you goosies or get your blood pumping a little bit, and you're watching women's basketball, I don't know what else will do it for you.
So here's a look. Let's check the game and shot clock here. You see the shot clock there up at the top. Certainly down to 1. They get the timeout. Man, I tell you, there might be less than a second. The shot clock doesn't show tenths like you might see it in the NBA. I don't know that there's a full second left here.
I don't either, but looking at that, I think that clock seems pretty much right on par. I don't think there's anything that I would change or adjust to it. And I think Folks is wishing maybe she did that a little differently. and I'll tell you what, after this game or even in their next practice they're definitely going to be discussing that and talking about how they should have done that better, because that is really critical in a tied game like this one.
And that was Ilderton, who's a senior player with Mayer. They were teammates on that championship team. And now it's late in the shot clock, catch, shoot. And if you're Coastal, you hope for a miss and a rebound, and then try to win it on your end of the floor. Officials still at the monitor looking. And you understand why. It is very critical. See if you can get a look. Watch the official here. When does he acknowledge the timeout? Right there?
Right on there.
Yeah. Don't see much to change anything there.
Looks like Folks.
They put 2 tenths on. So shot clock is at 1. Mayer sits in the corner. If they can get an inbound to her, maybe Olsen will trigger, so she won't be the one shooting here, which is a little interesting.
Yeah, it's a little surprising.
Harris guards the inbound. It's deflected. Shot clock violation, Coastal basketball. 3.7 to go, and the Shots will get a chance on their terms to try to win it at the Horn.
That's a huge defensive play by Harris right there, guarding the inbounder, staying big, making sure she's jumping up, using her length right there to get that tip, not even allowing Marshall the chance to even try to get a shot up with that 1 second left.
I think Coach Pedersen wants them to look to see if maybe there's more time here. So they do. Coach Pedersen was adamant in our conversation with us as well. He said, look, I don't want people to think because of our 0-2 record. He said, I still think this team is just as special as it was before the season began. He talked about how banged up they've been and how they've been putting pieces together. Players like Kristen Williams playing point guard a lot more than you would have certainly envisioned coming into the year. But man, what a long way this win could go in validating that, not necessarily to him, but to these players saying, okay, we can be that team that we want to be.
And historically, Marshall has usually had a very good women's basketball program, especially in our late years. For Coastal to be able to get that win over Marshall, who just picked up a huge win over James Madison, I mean, that just shows you what that team is capable. It gives them that confidence to go down the stretch of conference play. And it's going to be interesting, you know, whether Marshall wins this game or Coastal, it's going to be interesting to see that rematch just a week from now.
It has been the cardiac shots to start Sun Belt play. All 3 games have been within 1 possession in the final 20 seconds.
That's Sun Belt play. Honestly, when you have a competitive conference like the Sun Belt.
4.4 will be put on the clock from 3.7. Any kind of points here give you the lead.
Yeah. I mean, and if I'm Coach Pedersen right now, I'm finding Kristen Williams.
Had 22 lead changes today as Kristen Williams looks cool, calm as ever. She's been quiet here in the 4th from a scoring perspective with just 3 points here in the 4th.
Looks like they're going to double team Williams. I don't blame them. I'd be doing this probably the same thing.
Then if it's not Williams, where do you go? Maybe Houston inside. But Grady certainly has the ability. Zipped inside for Houston. It's thrown away, and Marshall's going to get an opportunity.
Yeah, that's tough for Coastal, definitely having the chance to win the game there. And it all starts with the inbound, right? No inbound, you can't do it. Just not a very online pass from Jimenez.
Jimenez, who's been a good passer and facilitator, missed a big one there, and she knows it. You can just see the reaction there. Now the key is locking in defensively and ensuring you go to overtime. Remember, last time Marshall tried to inbound it, it was a bit adventurous for them as well.
Right.
Man, so now Marshall is going to have an opportunity with 3.4 to go. Another example of the women's game being so different. They get to advance the basketball, and now you get to move it in a scoring position. Also worth noting, Marshall out of timeouts. Chanticleers still have 2 left.
I think they're changing their strategy up a little bit. Looks like they have Olivia Olson now on the court.
Chanticleers have Houston guarding the inbounder. Timeout. Kevin Pedersen and Coastal. They want to talk about it. You see how they line up. Say, all right, how are we going to match here? Game that's had plenty of offense. 2 teams at various points inside 5 to go that are looking for a defensive stand. And it's Coastal's turn. Marshall, by the way, has hit their last 3 from the floor. It is entertaining of a basketball game as you could hope for. The Herd are going to get another crack at it.
And you know, the advantage really for either one of these teams, it's not like you have to win a game-winning 3-pointer. You know,
right.
You get the ball inside, you either make the basket or you draw a foul and get to the free throw line.
Chanticleers don't guard the inbound this time. They get it in. Olsen fires, missed it. Overtime on the way in Conway. 4 quarters, not enough. Olsen can't convert at the horn. And we have more basketball coming as we head to overtime. Olsen had the ball in her hands after a 10-point fourth quarter. A chance to win it at the horn. Goes begging, and we go to overtime. Well, two teams that you thought might be pretty evenly matched. This is a look at how we got here. Lead has changed hands 22 times. Mayer with 17 points, some big shots coming down the stretch. Those two back-to-back threes. Olsen a part of the equation. She's got 19. Christian Williams with 17. Last check for Coastal's. Tracy Houston has 11. Jimenez with 10. Grimes in double figures. And it has been all hands on deck for both teams trying to find a Sun Belt win.
Yeah, and what I really like that we're seeing is it's not like it's one person who's just dominating on either team. This is a very well evenly scoring team. We have multiple players on either teams. Right now, 4 on each team that are in double digits in scoring.
Well, just as we were a little over 2 hours ago, we'll jump it up and start the extra session. And away we go. Collision, and Grady, a physical jump ball. Shots come away with it. Jimenez into Houston. Got it to her this time. Houston couldn't finish. Got it back. Does, plus a foul. Tracy Houston enters the chat to start overtime.
She's been so dominant right now in the paint. Anytime they feed her, she goes up big, she goes up strong, she creates space, able to get her own rebound and put it back up nice and high for her, trying once again to complete that three-point play, hopefully to get a little bit of a bigger lead here over the Thundering Herd.
I think she was fired up after that one. She converts the free throw.
I mean, I was fired up.
Absolutely. Who couldn't be?
Maybe if you're a Marshall fan.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
They've been fired up about Olsen and Mayer down the stretch. Ilderton looking to get it inside. Blessing King there. Back around Lewis Utsi. She goes at Houston. No on the rebound, foul Jimenez. And that'll lead to free throws for Marshall. Do you mind Tracy Houston too has 4 fouls? They went right at her there.
Yeah.
But it was on the rebound of Jimenez who picks up the personal.
I mean, it's overtime. Use her till you can, right?
Mm-hmm. Pair of free throws coming. And Blessing King is shooting 43% from the line this year. Is 3 for 4 today from the strike. Missed that one. Offensive rebound, and Lewis Utsi puts it back in.
So good, so athletic there. Maybe not the biggest person that you'll see on the court, but still able to get a large amount of rebounds for her team. She's one of the top 3 leaders on her team with offensive rebounds.
Houston, foul. Mayer trying to plead that it was all ball. There's Lewis Utsi. Had a double flex action.
Get a little dust off the shoulders, you know, getting nice and loose.
1 for each point, maybe? As Tracy Houston now back to the line. Trying to give Coastal the lead again. An area that Houston has worked so hard on, her free throws. She splashes in another one. Coach Pedersen has said, I'm adamant that we can get her up to a 70% free throw shooter before the year's out. Look cool, calm, and collected on both of those. Coastal back by a pair. Ilderton a screen each way. Dances left, gets it back to Mayer. Back to Ilderton. Mayer again. Drives, kick. Lewis Utsi misfired the three. Foul. Houston, that's number 5.
Yeah, looks like while Houston was going up for that rebound, she just got that arm there tangled up.
And Coach Kevin Pedersen can't believe it. He should take another look.
Yeah, see that left arm. Looks like it's pushing Blessing down.
I think Coach Pedersen trying to plead his case, but what a performance from Tracy Houston in the second half and to start overtime.
I mean, she's definitely been the difference maker for the Chants here in that second half. Whether it's, you know, going up strong and getting those three-point plays or even just the momentum that she brings to her team.
King missed the first of 2 now you're Coastal Carolina. Remember last time you were in this spot, you gave up the offensive rebound. Nearly gave up another one here. Grady, an imperative box out. Chants by 2, they have the ball. Jimenez, around to Williams, into Bradley. Bradley navigated inside. Back to Jimenez. Pull up Jay, splash. Matches the biggest lead for the Chants since early third quarter. Lewis Utsi +1. Marshall has been getting to the free throw line with regularity in OT. They'll go again to try to cut it to 1.
We've talked about it multiple times throughout this game. Lewis Utsi performing her best in the fourth quarter and in overtime, and that's showing off here, driving to the rim, drawing the foul, and hopefully making that free throw there for the three-point play. But she's definitely come out strong here in this fourth quarter and in overtime.
The 6th foul drawn today by Lewis Utsi, who misses another free throw. An 85% free throw shooter coming in. She is 5 of 10 from the stripe today. Bradley on the attack. Off the glass, no. Poked out of bounds. It'll stay. No, they say Marshall basketball. Now whistles. Oh, boy, I wondered if there was a challenge coming. And
yeah, I think that's the right call.
Yeah.
Looks like Harris's arms just got a little longer.
Usually that's a good thing.
Right.
Lewis Utsi again. Couldn't finish. King got it back. Ilderton's 3. No. Bradley the rebound. The Chanticleers get a stop with the lead intact. 2.5 to play in OT. Jimenez. Back to Bradley. Bradley finds Grady. Grady, Bradley, triple. Not quite. Ball ricochets around. Marshall with numbers 3 on 2. Ilderton. Mayer gets a look. No good. Ball batted around again to Marshall. Lewis Utsi fouled and will shoot 2. Lewis Utsi getting to the free throw line at will here in overtime. This is the 4th on Grady. Marshall's gotten to the line in overtime, Julia, but they're just 1 of 5 at the stripe in OT.
And that just comes down to focus, right? Being able to focus when you're tired, when you're exhausted, being able to make that simple shot, and there Lewis Utsi just not able to get it really frustrating day for her at the charity stripe.
85% free throw shooter is 5 of 11. Make it 5 of 12. How much of it becomes a mental thing once you're struggling the way you have?
I would say a majority of it. I mean, a lot of sports is a mental game, and when you're typically a top performer in an area, not being able to do it, it gets to you.
Williams can't finish. Bodies collide. Minute and a half to go. Marshall with numbers. Louis Utsi into King. Double comes. Ilderton settles it back down. Louis Utsi for 3. No. Rebound Williams. Foul. Marshall. Free throws coming. It'll be Paige Bradley at the line. It is physical downstairs.
And if I'm Marshall and I'm Coach Julie Fuchs right now, I'm proud of my team. Here they are, back-to-back overtime games. You're exhausted, you're traveling, you're on the road. If anything you can take away from this game as a coach, your team's well-conditioned, which is really your job as a coach to make sure that they're ready and they're prepared for that.
Like both these teams have showcased that. And Marshall, 0 of their last 4 from the floor. Shots haven't scored in 2 minutes until that one tumbles through. This one a big one. It gives you a 2-possession lead. Bradley now in double figures with 13 rebounds. A quiet double-double if there is one.
Not somebody who's maybe really poked out on the stat sheet today, but she's definitely had a big impact in this game.
King fouled again right at Harris. And so did some oddities in this game. King is 3 for 7. She missed her last 2, but has been pretty good overall today compared to her average at 43%. You're looking at an 85% shooter in Louis Utsi, who's 5 of 12. So Blessing King 2 more big ones here. And the iron unkind. Julia Bears mentioning again, Marshall is 1 for 8 at the free throw line in overtime.
And that's the difference maker right here. I mean, they're trailing now by 3 after that made free throw, but that could be the difference in the game. And honestly, if Louis Utsi had a better performance at the line, there's a very good chance they could have won that game in regulation.
It's loose, tie up, Marshall basketball. Both coaches were trying to call a timeout. Neither got it. Marshall has the arrow. They will get the ball here with less than a minute to go. You see the scramble for it. Man, it is.
It's aggressive. But I love it. I mean,
it's hard to get a conference win.
Yeah, they're scraping for anything that they can get right now, and I love that competitiveness, that drive, that fire that comes out late in these games.
Marshall throws it away. Ilderton's pass too tall. But now, if you're Coastal, remember, you got to make sure you take care of it on your own terms here. Jimenez, Bradley had it poked away. Bradley's got to get it across. The shot it clears. Do not. 10 seconds. Back to Marshall it goes.
We talked, this whole game and in pregame about how good Marshall's defense is. Here they am pressing really, really hard in the front court. And Coastal just struggling to just find a way to get it over.
Kenzie Grimes is going to come in for Harris. 37 seconds remaining. Marshall trails by 3. Their defense has got them a possession here. Louis Utsi. Right over Kristen Williams. It's a block. And it'll put Louis Utsi at the line again, and Williams can't believe it. Take another look.
Yeah, Yeah, feet don't stay planted. Looked like she jumped a little bit. This looks like she fell back a little bit before the contact was even made there.
It is awfully close. Grimes and Harris swap again here. Lewis Utsi, who has struggled all night at the line, going 5 of 12. 2 more big ones here. Missed again.
I think no matter the outcome in this game, she's going to be back in the gym. First thing.
Missed them both. Jimenez, the rebound. Timeout, Coastal. They'll advance it with 26.2 to go. Now the shot clock's off. If you're Marshall, you have to foul now if you don't get a turnover, but you can play it out a little bit to see if you get the quick steal as well. Still 26 seconds to go, but Lewis Utsi, who has been, we can't understate enough, she's been so good at the line all year long, and it has been a struggle. 5 of 14 from the free throw line today, 0 for 5 in overtime.
And, you know, you just said right there, like, you know, you want to foul Coastal as quickly as you can, but Coastal's shooting 78% right now from the free throw line. I mean, when they're getting their opportunities, for the most part, they're taking advantage and they're capitalizing on it. So it's, you know, it's a give or take right now for Marshall and the Thundering Herd, just trying to figure out what it's going to take for them to work.
Talk about a look saying it all.
And I mean, even with those missed free throws, she still has 18 points out today. I mean, she still has made a huge impact offensively right now for this team.
You're looking at a 30-point night if she has a normal day at the line. Marshall, 14 for 30 at the free throw line in a game that goes to overtime. Jimenez lost it. Trying to stay in the front court, lost it, and now Marshall has it back. 3 will tie. Ilderton goes for 2. She'll get a chance for 3 at the line.
What a major play for Marshall there. You see the team celebrating. Almost everyone off that bench. They're celebrating that with a possibility here to tie it with just 11 seconds left in the game.
The 5th foul for Tessa Grady. Marshall has shot 11 free throws in overtime. This one ties it. 85 all, 11 seconds to go. Coastal Carolina has turned it over 3 times in the overtime session, and otherwise they would have had a chance to maybe stretch it out at the free throw line.
And we talked about how both teams did a relatively good job of taking care of the basketball here. Coastal just suffering it a little bit. Such a great job throwing that nice up and high, getting it over, and being able to get that basket right there.
Man, I tell you what, this game has had it all.
I gotta check my Whoop right now. Do you have a Whoop? You gotta check your Whoop or your Apple Watch to see where your heart rate is right now.
It's lower than those talking in the huddle, I can assure you of that. As Coastal Carolina will get the basketball here.
I think I'm gonna check my heart rate.
But
let's take a look.
The good news is if you're the Chanticleers, you have the basketball. And despite that last play, you have a chance on your terms. Say, look, we can have the last shot of the game. We go play 5 more minutes, or we win it in overtime.
And you're doing it with 11 seconds left on the clock, which in the grand scheme of life seems like nothing. But when it comes to a basketball game late in the game, that is a lot of time to have a quality possession if you can control it.
Coach Folks, her last signal defensively. Chanticleers have the arrow as well, should there be a tie-up.
I can confirm I do have an elevated heart rate right now. It's about 14 beats per minute higher than it normally is.
Inbounds comes. Jimenez. Oh, it's taken away. Ilderton. Good. Shauna clears with time winding down. Williams has to let it go. No good, and Marshall steals the win on the road and goes to 3-0 in conference play. Williams and Jimenez can't believe it. Ilderton with the last 5 points coming in a matter of a few seconds. And Marshall storms away 3-0.
Overall, very competitive game, extremely back and forth. I'm really proud. I think both teams competed really hard at the end of the day. But Marshall, I think they just wanted it more on that last possession, and it paid off for them, and they get the second overtime win in conference for back-to-back games.
Coastal Carolina turned it over 4 times in the last minute and 18 seconds. Marshall went on a 6-0 run, and for the second consecutive game in league play, they win in overtime. 87-85, an impressive effort all the way around. The Stars came to play to start 2026, and Marshall's defense ended up being the difference. For our entire crew, for Julia Kennedy, I'm Kyle Rush saying so long and a happy new year as Coastal Carolina falls 2 points shy and Marshall has a 3-0 start to Sun Belt play.